So just waiting for confirmation. We'll go ahead and get this show started. How's everybody doing? All right. Lots of good mornings. Lots of all goods. All right. So we're all set. So let's go ahead and kick things off. As always, my name is Jared. This is Engineering the Markets. It is September 13th, 2021. Just want to briefly mention that we want to pay homage to all those who lost their lives, and of course, the sacrifices made by those with 9/11. We did pass the 20-year anniversary of that historic event, and moving forward, want to pay just a quick moment of silence for those who lost their lives. So go ahead and do that now. Okay, so thank you all for that. And let's go ahead and dive into last week. Let's talk about some of the events that occurred this past Friday and how we can move forward, as the market was a bit volatile on Friday, leading us to possibly needing to react or posture for the next phase of the market. So when it comes to Friday's action, one thing that I always like to refer to is, did we have a larger than expected move in the market overall? And if we look at the week that was in the SPX, we can see that it's a bit hard to illustrate on the weekly, but we can see for the past week, we had approximately a $50 expected move for the SPX. We opened the week at about 45.53, and that plus or minus $50 range was coming into a shortened week. We did have Labor Day on Monday of last week, so a 4-day week, smaller than normal expected move, and volatility ultimately was a bit compressed for those reasons. Additionally, on Friday, we often see volatility come off of the market and be reduced. This is due to usually rolling events with options and futures contracts, along with just a general repositioning for the next week as risk is mitigated or shifted into new price levels. So that volatility often does reduce on Fridays, and we often see that with the VIX or something like volatility futures coming into normal contango conditions if they were elevated prior. What occurred last Friday was a bit different. We did breach our expected move for the SPX, and with this breach, it's also notable to see how far did we get? Did we close outside of it? Along with, was it a 2 times larger than expected move, 3 times, et cetera, et cetera? As the market closed at about 44.58, and if you recall, we opened at about 45.32 approximately, we did see roughly a 2 times expected move in the SPX. And that, of course, most of that range did occur on the Friday session. Now, moving into this week, we want to sort of understand what that does for our expected move. And often what we've shown is how to calculate this. Just to go over those steps really quickly, if you're doing this on a Friday before the market close or a Saturday after the market data has settled, what you want to do is look into the SPX option chains. You want to pull specifically the correct series. And it's notable for this week that the SPX does have 2 different option series, one of which is settled in the morning session, and then the one that's settled at market close this week is going to be the one that we want to leverage. Now, for this time frame, I've already pulled this back to Saturday, just so we're not seeing any changes with regards to the data. The SPX is projecting about a $115 expected move. So obviously volatility has expanded. We're coming into a full week, so we have a bit more number of days to actually move the market around. And with a $115 expected move in a market that closed at approximately 44.58, we can start to see what the option market dictates as possible areas of risk. Basically, where can the market tag and test these risk levels, regardless of if we are weak on the week or poor or bearish on the week versus strong or bullish. Those ranges are still risk levels for option, I would say, hedging and overall risk mitigation for the SPX. So as we've closed about that 44.58, moving down to about 115 points, we want to be thinking maybe the 43.50s, which brings us all the way to these price levels. And that's, of course, you know, giving a little bit of wiggle room to the extra 15 bucks, along with 44.58 to the upside, brings us all the way back to 45, 60s or 70s, which would essentially be the previous expected move highs. So while the market pulled down last week, the upside risk, at least in regards to these weekly options in the SPX, is roughly at the same price levels, whereas the downside risk and ultimately where the option market is projecting the bottom side range is much lower. And from a technical perspective, if we were to see that downside range tested, it would be the first time in a while where we've actually broken a previous swing low. So those are some things to think about this week, as the volatility expansion that we saw on Friday was not only rare, but we were coming off of a 4-day trading week. And now we are coming into a full week where we have where we have more than doubled the volatility for the week. So it gives us an idea of the, I guess, potential of movement for the SPX. Now, when we get into our SPY, we can also see this volatility on Friday with the breach of the 20-period moving average. We've seen this before, and obviously in strong trending markets, pullbacks are to be expected. But as we've seen as well in previous pullbacks, our most notable price level, or specifically our most well-respected indicator for these pullbacks, has been the 50-period moving average on the daily. So the idea that we did draw down hard on Friday, and we'll look at just how hard that selling was, but the fact that we are not quite yet at the normal zone of interest for new demand to come into this market means that while we may see bounces, and ultimately if we look at pre-market, we are getting a bit of a counter rally against the sharper selling that occurred on Friday, the market may simply not be done pulling down, as we have not yet tagged our normal pullback spot. Additionally, we want to kind of look at what the market does when we have strong selling days, ultimately trending days to the downside with large expansive ranges. We have a couple of examples that have occurred in recent history. Something like this is our most recent example. And while the market did gap down on the following session, it of course rallied strongly for most of the day. We have other examples here. And while these gap downs are more volatile, you can see the type of range expansion occurring over the next 2 sessions. The difference between these examples is whether or not the market was able to close below the 20 period. I would often use the 20 period as sort of a gauge of whether the strong uptrend still has continuation, and how we react against it is often a sign that we may still have a bit more upside to go. An example being back in time here. So some other examples back over in this time frame, we want to be looking at periods like this, and also larger selling near all-time highs back in time. Each of these is going to be structurally different, but things that we want to note is that even with sharper gap downs on following sessions, the market is able to have strong trending days to the upside. And what I'm trying to reiterate here is, while the selling was strong, and while the posture of the market in the pre-market is different than a lot of these days, most of the examples I've shown have been weak days following into large gap downs, setting up the oversold condition of a market. And often those oversold conditions provide volatility, and specifically for counter trend traders, we're sort of buying the pullback on the oversold condition and targeting sort of conservative targets to the upside, not necessarily all-time highs, but we're often going to see some follow through if we get into those states. The market right now and how we are opening this morning is not quite the same as these other examples. So while we may get follow through and ultimately the market can bounce at any time, the setup for these bounces is a bit different. We're not gapping down strongly and therefore setting up the oversold condition, nor have we pulled all the way down to the 50 period, which a lot of these examples at least got us to there over the next session or two. So some things to consider for swing trade opportunities, along with how to think about the open this morning. We may actually get a little bit of chop. Ultimately, we have a large Friday range to consider, just this one intraday or a daily candle, and a breach of the low would be the first time in a while where we've seen continuation after a inside day from a large trend day. It's been rare to see that even in the context of the past year. Often larger selling leads to the oversold gap. So some things to consider. And last week we actually looked at just some very simple indicators, something like an RSI. If we go ahead and apply this to our market, sort of expand it out to see some of the nuance, we can see that this is one of the first times in the past couple of pullbacks where we've actually breached a higher low on this indicator, with all of our higher lows signaling lows in the market, these higher lows that led to continuation of the trend. So the posture here is just different. It's not necessarily all bearish all of a sudden, but we do have some nuance here, and that nuance needs to be respected as we try and learn what the next phase of the market should be. If we shift over to the NASDAQ also saw heavier selling, but in the context of the pullback, it is structurally more bullish than the overall SPY. We did not breach the 20 period on the daily, and the QQQ was in a position of relative strength, although the last 5 or 6 sessions were in balance. So for the analysis on the Qs, we may want to look at the same indicators and also talk about how this market opens in relation to where the market is going for the short term. If tech is able to recover better than the overall SPY, then we may see some additional continuation in tech, and something like our shorter term timeframes will give us an idea of that probability and potential. You'll note here the Qs were in this range near the highs. We also had channel resistance, which the market was unable to extend away from. The breach of that range, and in pre-market, the back test. So we're getting a lot of technical structure here, and ultimately this back test is going to either confirm or reject the selling that occurred on Friday. If we're able to reclaim this range, then the idea here is that this setup represents a false breakdown. And this balance zone, which if we pull up something like volume profile, obviously has a lot of nuance. There we go. In regards to its volume shelf. So that balance range has a VPOC, and as we pull it maybe into the past 10 days, we can see that VPOC is centered around 380. So the under and over effect of when you leave balance, or when you leave a range, a well-established range, the move away from that range needs to be powerful. The idea being something like a ignition candle, maybe a lower volume pullback into continuation. That's going to be your 3 to 4 bar plays that a lot of us traders use. Or you're going to see a move away, a back test. That back test needs to be a very nuanced area, often previous support or resistance, and then the eventual confirmation of weakness at this zone, which confirms the change in the structure. If none of those come into play, the evaluation here is that it may have been a false signal, and it can trap short-term or even medium-term traders into thinking that this range was breaking down. Obviously, for the bearish case, they will eventually need to stop out if the market continues higher into VPOC and ultimately into previous highs. This happens to be all-time high. That doesn't necessarily have to be the case every time. So some things to think about in regards to the Qs, because of how strong they have been, and also because their weakness on Friday was not similar to the SPY. It actually was a bit stronger, given our pullback has not breached the 20. So we will see which of these cases plays out. The idea here is that we have a daily candle that has a lot of information packed into it. The Qs, of course, losing that balance range, breaching it, but not confirming move away quite yet. Whereas the SPY has differences compared to some of the larger pullbacks we've seen in time. Not a gap down open, not a fear-based sell-off in regards to a second day continuation on the gap, but instead an inside day, which can set the stage for bears to get in for the first time in quite a while. And then finally, our IWM, noting that the IWM had a very strong response in previous sessions. Something like the weekly can showcase how large this move has been from low to high. But as we came into prior resistance, we see that the market continues to respect it in the short term. Now, the idea here is that in order to get out of this trading range that the IWM has been in for quite a while, we may need to see certain economic conditions changing to facilitate a breakout. The idea here is that we probably would want to be in a more inflationary environment with bonds selling off, leading to some of the regional banks and potentially continuation in biotech and healthcare, along with larger sector exposure for the IWM, industrials potentially being one of the notable ones. All of these can set the stage for IWM to break out. We have not seen that yet. So for the purpose of analysis, we only really need to look at the IWM chart and review the fact that this market continues to give buys near the lows, sells near the highs, and ultimately our short-term target will continue to be VPOC. VPOC continues to be the gravity point of this range, and regardless of the setup, markets like to check back into these high volume nodes in order for transactions to occur. So IWM has just been rinse and repeat for a long time, but if you are bullish, then you want to be positioned as close to the lows as possible, giving you the best risk to reward and ultimately allowing you to profit take near resistance or near VPOC, so that if it continues, you are now in a sort of risk-free or very low risk trade for a breakout. The same is true for the upside, of course, with the opposite case in play, selling near this high, profit taking at VPOC or near the lows, and looking for the breakdown. It obviously depends on whether you are bullish or bearish the IWM. So that continues to play out, and long term, when this range finally resolves, the movement through and out of the range should be quite powerful because we have been here for a year. So that said, and finally on our Dow, just to wrap things up, similar to the SPY, we saw breaches of the 20 back in the early part of last week's session. And the idea here was that if the market was going to continue, the Dow was giving a potential buy setup near the 50, which it has had strong reactions next to before, and ultimately near some short-term trend line support. That, of course, did not play out. We had weakness and a breakdown of that setup. And moving forward, what we want to review is what is the downside risk in the Dow, which from the perspective of this trending market has been actually a weaker area with lack of follow through, along with the fact that we have not made continual all-time highs as the SPY and the Qs has done so. So this breakdown is notable, and if it is unable to recover in the form of that false breakdown, there is a risk back to our previous swing low. Similar to what we did with the SPY, just pulling up simple indicators like RSI, we can see this downside effect in the RSI as we have broken a previous low from a price low. And we have also broken the pattern of, if I can get my drawing tool, something like higher lows. It's not going to connect from a trend perspective, but we have broken the pattern of higher lows as the market has made higher lows on this move. So this type of analysis and the fact that the market gave us a bearish connotation on Friday is not something that we want to take lightly. The fact that we sold on Friday is rare. It's different. It's not just like every other pullback just yet. And the information we're getting from a technical perspective is also a bit varied. There are some potentials for stronger markets to recover better than others, and the weakness seen in something like the Dow, along with the IWM staying within its trading range, leads us to believe that the weakness could continue, albeit maybe with some divergence across different indicators. Now, the type of weakness that we saw can further be quantified by something like a, let's take that off for now, something like an equal weight ETF. If the market was weak and it was only a few areas of the market, we would see maybe indecision or just some choppier selling pressure in an equal weight ETF like the RSP. That is not the case. We're seeing full selling pressure in the equal weight, leading to this trend day in this ETF. Additionally, if you scan other sectors, our strongest sector, like the tech sector, coming back to the 20, very similar to the QQQ. Our previous leader, healthcare, breaching the 20 for the first time in this uptrend. We had sort of a setup here, establishing the 20 as a possible trend moving average, and that has worked out for a few buys. That has breached, and the selling has continuation. This is notable because the breach occurred on Thursday, and the continuation was on Friday. And our financial sector, which is yet to reestablish itself in a strong uptrend, is having a lot of trouble near the 20, and we're seeing maybe a bit of congestion near these two moving averages. It's also notable that we haven't truly come back and checked this range. We've had maybe a brief connection somewhere in this area, but the trading range was established on this bounce. These are ultimately test candles near the highs. So it is notable that we may simply come back to this upper range support and sort of check back to see if we can have another bullish reaction. And as you scan other sectors, it doesn't really matter which one you look at. Most were weak on Friday, which shows that it wasn't just one or two large sectors. There's a bit of an all sell event on Friday. Everything in the market had a bearish connotation, leading to a lot of these ETFs with trends days to the downside, or even strong morning sessions leading into weakness into the afternoon. Something like XLB materials showing that example with the topping tail. Along with defensive sectors, something you would expect to see maybe some strength in a weak overall market, but the likes of XLP with consumer staples, along with utilities, all having downside activity. So rolling this into sort of an idea for this week, we are getting a pullback in the market. The pullbacks so far over the past 6 months and potentially further back into when we were in election times, those pullbacks have been bought aggressively at notable zones. The reactions at those zones were often facilitated by large oversold conditions in the market. And while the pullbacks did not necessarily have to give us all-time highs, we've been fortunate to have a bullish market have continuation, and the trend has been our friend for quite a while. What can ultimately change that is larger time frame divergence. I'll bring up the weekly on the SPY and just show that we have been in this overbought condition on the RSI for the weekly for a long period of time. We're also not really breaching anything drastic on the weekly. You'll know that the 20 period has been a general guide, and the fact that we rarely even check back to it, we often pull up something more aggressive like a 12 to show the potential for downside on pullbacks. So where we are, the differences in some of these indicators, the fact that we are not gapping down heavily after a strong trend day to the downside, and the fact that the market often pulls back further before having strong bounces, can lead us all to believe that while we may get a day or two of upside, there may still be a bit more selling left to go. We've simply seen this before, and we need to respect the fact that the pullbacks have zones that they've been bought at. Looking at it through different time frames can give us clues where that might be. Looking at the expected move, that 115 range on the SPX, those are some clues that if we see more weakness expect these areas to be tested. And if they are tested with a lack of strength, expect breaches to occur in the same way that we saw last week, with certain things starting to facilitate downside.
So annoying when she was
So,
outside
all things
for
to
15 minutes
consider.
just prior to that.
Last but not least, we want to take a look at other areas of the market. Did we get a lot of fear last week, and did that show itself in other areas? Something like the dollar has been sort of a guide as to maybe capital leaving the equities market and a strong return to cash. So far, I would say a bit range bound, nothing of note, but notable that we've had a weekly bounce and a sort of pivot near a previous support zone. That, of course, can lead to more back and forth action in the dollar. Our VIX, once again, just commenting that a Friday session where the VIX was not only elevated, but also breaching previous highs, that is pretty rare for this market. We're seeing a bit of that drop off this morning. Keep an eye on this area. The market wants to actually bounce strongly. We should see a lot of this VIX come off. Our SKU index, how much is hedging occurring, and how expansive is that hedging with regards to paying for downside protection with higher and higher premium. That has been coming off in the past week, but we're still at highly elevated levels not seen in quite a while in the overall market. That, of course, needs to be seen with something like a line chart. And then our VVIX, our hedging, is hedging in the VIX being paid for, and are they paying more and more for that premium? Answer is short term, yes, we did see that spike, so we'd want to see that roll off as well. So all that said, and as I kind of conclude with my time, last but not least, the bond market. We've been using the TLT, just a gauge. We can look at the TNX or the TYX for actual yields. But from a technical perspective, the TLT has been a bit range bound, and ultimately that range compressed over last week. We saw this move lower and then a quick return back to downtrending resistance. So short term, this can be perceived as a possible false breakdown. If this triangle, this wedge in the market wanted to resolve lower, why did it not have continuation? And if the bonds start to move sharply higher, that can change what the market sees as opportunity, with yields going lower and ultimately certain areas of the market either outperforming or a rush to bonds, which is more of a risk off signal. All of that can be looked at as more information for us as the market either pulls down further or has a less steep pullback for the first time in quite a while. So all that said, that's my time. My name is Jared. This is Engineering the Markets. We'll look into this a bit more this week, and obviously give the market the room to pull back if it needs to pull back further. But obviously for short-term trading, we're set up a bit differently. So let's respect this inside candle open that we might have in the SPY. So y'all trade safe, and we'll talk more tomorrow.
All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the pre-market prep. I hope everyone is having an amazing morning. Hope you had an incredible weekend. Good morning, Norm. How are you doing today?
Hey, good morning, buddy. I'm doing well. Hope you are too. Hope you had a great weekend.
Yes.
How's everything going with the baby?
Good, man. Good. We're seems like we're getting more sleep, or we're just getting used to the whole thing of waking up every 3 hours. So whatever it is, we feel a lot better. So thank you for asking me. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Hope everyone had an incredible weekend. Let's get to the start of this week. Taking a look at our gappers this morning. Better than Friday, I'll tell you that much, because Friday was just
I haven't
insane.
looked at it yet.
Oh, well, I'm just talking about just as far as numbers.
Oh, okay.
As far as numbers, quality, we will find out.
Yeah.
But as far as numbers, it looks a little bit better. We had a massive list on Friday, and guys, we're going through that list, and we couldn't find anything that was great, right? So let's hopefully today we find something a little bit better. Definitely a smaller list than we had to work with on Friday morning. Before we jump into our gappers list, let's take a look at our market pulse. Norm, what's the latest and greatest?
Yeah, so we got a decent gap up this morning. We've had like 5 days down in a row. Matter of fact, I think it's 6. But nevertheless, 5 days, 5 down days. We've got good volume on the SPY, up 0.6%. Q's 0.5%, just over that, looking pretty decent over there as well. As far as economic calendar for today, really nothing interesting. We've got some inflation data coming a little bit later this week. Of course, we'll have consumer sentiment towards the end of the week, along with jobless claims and such. So I think the biggest will be the inflation data we're going to get in the next couple of days that people will be keeping an eye on. See how things go from here.
All right, excellent. Let's get to our list, guys. Let's remove our watch list from Friday. We'll Control A this thing, Control X, and that removes that. We'll add a little more columns here just in case.
Can I Control A?
Yeah.
Can I Control A people that are negative that I run into in life?
You could definitely Control A, Control X those real quick.
Okay.
Absolutely. So important to not have that in your life as much as possible. All right, guys, let's get to it. First one on the list, gapping up, ITMR, 10 million
Buyout.
shares float. Buyout looks horrible. Yeah, all right, we'll get rid of this one. You can see here, nothing good, so we'll move on down. ATER, this one, 10 million shares float, up 20%. Let's get our 5 minutes, just get a kind of a bigger picture here. Yeah, pre-market is starting to get a little bit better. You can see that here after 7 a.m. We're seeing some more activity, some increase in volume, so that looks good. Again, for lower type float, 24 million. We're going to be looking at the price action here. Looks like the last couple of days, a week or two, they've been having some really good volume and getting going here. So we'll put this on here as a low flow for the day so far, 6 million shares. So you definitely got some activity and a lot of people watching this one. ADAP, not so much looking not so great this morning, guys. Pre-market action 507. It has some volume, but I don't know, this daily activity and this pre-market action I'm not a big fan of. It just looks like one of these stocks that will not trade well at the market open. So I'm gonna skip on this one for now. If anybody has anything good on it, throw it out there. But for the most
It's
part,
out of
we'll
the
skip on that one.
UK, so usually tickers out of the UK don't trade that well. But it's a biotech, and it did have some drug news that came out earlier this morning. So
Yeah, well,
Eh.
we'll see. Yeah. CCJ this morning up 4.9, 228,000 shares traded. The daily has been on a tear over the last couple of days. Not a low flow stock, guys, sitting at 397 million. Let's see how it traded Friday. Friday seems to had a good day. If we look at Friday here, yeah, not bad. Not bad. Look at the action after the fact. So again, possible continuation on this one today, guys. Volume right now is not great. Pre-market action is not great. So for that reason, I think maybe we can put it as a possible. It needs to get a little bit better, but it looks like Friday did all right for itself there. So we'll see what happens today. SPRT, 10 million shares flow. We've seen this one be very active over the last couple of weeks, maybe a month by now. This morning, 404,000 shares traded. Pre-market action is looking okay. The daily's looking all right. We're holding some support here. Again, this stock is slightly difficult to trade. It is not a stock that you want to be messing around with if you just started trading. It can be very, very whippy. So I'm going to put it down here as a low flow. I think the volume needs to be a little bit better. But again, we've seen the volume come in heavy in after the bell opens up. So we'll throw that on there. AMC was very active last week. Today they are up 3%, 1.8. No, I'm sorry, 1 million shares traded so far. Yeah, this is definitely in play, guys. The daily looks good on this. We're talking about a breakout here happening above 48.75 Friday morning. We did see that broke out nicely, give you like about $2 move here, $3 move almost. So today definitely in play for a possible continuation. We'll add this to our list, AMC. And we have Snap down here. Snap is slightly up this morning, 2.1. Volume has 1 million shares, but again, that 1 million hasn't been trading well at all. So I'm not seeing anything great on it. The only thing possibly, man, this daily, by the way, is horrible. I mean, it's just sideways action here. Anything on this, Norm, or?
Yeah, they got an upgrade out of Goldman this morning with a $90 price target. Like you said, it's 1 million shares, but it must be a block trade somewhere for a good chunk of that, because I'm not seeing, just on the volume bars, I'm just not seeing really where that came from. So there's got to be a block trade that took place in there that's getting counted in that.
Yeah, and what's the upgrade to? You said 90?
No, well, yeah, but I mean, it's kind of unimportant but it's decent upgrade out of a obviously well-known firm. So
right.
Sometimes that can be a good enough catalyst.
Absolutely.
I talk about how analyst stuff isn't always a good catalyst. One thing when I'm looking at those to determine if it might be a decent catalyst is what that analyst is. If it's Norm G Research, or if it's Goldman, and if it's Goldman like this one is, it carries more weight. So
Yep, absolutely. So again, this gap potential, guys, is sitting right here at an area of resistance with that type of catalyst. We know they can get the volume. We'll put it as a possible for now, because right now it does not look great at all. See what's gapping down today. MDXG, this one dropped down 53%, 581,000 shares traded. Again, we don't have much to go by on this one. Daily's horrible. Pre-market action is not great, even with this big drop. There's just not a whole lot to go on right now. We'll have to put this on a possible for now. We'll come back to it. It's not a low flow, sitting at 72 million shares flow. So we'll see what's going on there. DVAX, guys, you know how we feel about this one.
You've got your epic pin controls right in the middle of the fundamental data for TI.
Oh, look at that. Let's move that out the way. Here we go. Boom, right there.
Gracias, senor.
Nathan, thank you very much for the
Nathan.
super chat, man. Appreciate you very much. Right there, you can see
childhood cancer appreciates that.
Yeah, he's a little emoji there, high fiving. That's pretty cool. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. As we continue to rack up the donations here for our charity of the month. So, coming back here to DVAX, guys, again, doesn't look great. It's a very difficult stock to trade. So I won't be watching it unless there are any kind of big news, big catalyst on it.
They had an update. They have a treatment. Sorry, which one were we on? DVAX?
DVAX, yep.
Yeah, COVID vaccine news that they released some info on. I believe it was late on Friday. But obviously seen as negative this morning. So I believe it was out of the UK.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of this one. We've seen this in our list before. We'll keep it off for now. And if anything crazy happens, we can always bring it back. Here's Space. Space is just stuck, guys. It's just stuck within this consolidation. It's at the bottom of its support that it has had for the last month and a half or so. I know it's been making some noise, but I don't recall it trading well at all. The move seems to be very small on this thing. 258,000 shares traded right now. They're down 3%, but I feel like every day they're either up or down between 2 to 3% and not really in play. So I'm not seeing anything great on it possible for now in case there is something happening, in case they're looking to lose this area of support, right? That can be fun. We saw how this thing dropped a few weeks ago here nicely, had great momentum, great continuation. If we can get another run towards the downside, that'd be great. But outside of that, I don't see anything happening on this one. All right, man, you was right. This does not look better than Friday. I think Friday we had a better list of quality at least. HGEN this morning, horrible pre-market action. It is down 2.5, 101,000 shares traded. Not a great pre-market start for this one. All right, Norm, what do you like this morning?
Apple. They've got a phone event tomorrow, and they are up. It's not a huge gap. It's only a little over 1%, but they've got some really heavy volume for Apple this morning.
Yeah, 1.3 is a right way to start here for Apple, guys. So that's looking very good after such a nasty day on Friday. Again, kind of recovering here a little bit. So yeah, that'll be fun to watch. Let's get rid of some of these levels here. Definitely like Apple as well. Let's take it to the room, and we will start with Michael. You're giving us BUL this morning. BUL, looking at it here. What's the float on BUL?
BLU or BUL?
BLU. What did I say? BUL. Okay. Sorry, BLU. Correct. BL. And if I typed that, that's what I typed. That's not what I said. BLU, guys. So right now this morning they are a 66 million shares float. Up 30% right now. I don't know. I'm not sure about this one. This pre-market action, all these wicks, I'm not liking it as much. It is getting better from here to here, so that's fine. It's got the volume. I don't know. These larger flow stocks at this price target they have a funky price action. That's probably the best way to describe it. So they definitely got the volume. They definitely got the pop. I'm going to put it as a possible. We'll come back and see how that's looking a little bit later. Heading down, we have Jason, BBIG. I don't like BBIG, guys. I think it trades horrible. I just think it's one of these stocks that it has the volume. It's pushing a lot of volume, heavy volume all over the place. But man, it trades like garbage, guys. I'll be honest on this. 51 million shares float. I mean, no, correct me if I'm wrong, but it just does not trade well.
There have been some days when it has. Yeah. I'll say that you were out when it was trading well. I think.
Oh, okay. I missed
you
the fun.
Came back on Thursday, and you had Thursday, Friday. I think you missed most of the fun. It has traded well on some days.
Gotcha. All right, we'll have to see again. Right now, I haven't seen it. For me personally, I haven't seen anything that's fun on this one. It's got the volume 1.3. Even with this 1.3, without having no history on it, I don't like the way this is moving right now. I think 1.3 should have a better pre-market activity. We're not seeing that yet. The daily's a little bit all over the place, right? We kind of popped up here. We're consolidating above 1039. If it gets better, guys, throw it back out to me. But thank you, Jason, for that one. Apple, we do have on deck. Thank you very much. I see BBIG. John G, you got my thoughts on it. Again, we'll just have to see how this thing plays out. AMD has potential. Let's take a look. Our man there, Chris MC. What do we have here? AMD. I mean, I don't think they're really
say that's in play at 160,000 shares traded. That's nothing for AMD.
I don't think it's in play. We needed to break out one way or the other, either lose the support or pop off of that. But I don't think it's in play right now. Heading down, NVIDIA. Let's take a look. Oops, can't type this morning. There we go, NVIDIA. I like the daily on NVIDIA, man. They've been so strong over the last couple of weeks. They've been in this consolidation for the last 2 weeks or so. Possible breakout. The volume 454 is not bad for NVIDIA in the pre-market at 8:48 in the morning. Yeah, this has potential, guys. I really like this morning. Let's throw that on there. AA. What's AA? What is this company? AA. Alco. Oh, I think we've seen this before. Yeah, pretty light volume, guys. 60,000. Yeah, not liking it right now. Maybe it can get better, but at the moment, I don't think it's in play. mRNA, I think will be interesting, guys, as we continue to slam on this 464 we did on Friday, and we also have our all-time high here, not 497, I believe, right? That's the all-time high, yeah. So it could be interesting. Right now, pretty light on volume, 110. I think we have to wait for the bell to see how this one's going to react. But again,
watch the Arval on those.
Yeah, you need that heavy volume, guys. Seriously. Here's Baba. I think Baba's been fun to watch, guys. Pre-market action looks good right now, 261,000. I wish they had a little more volume, but I do like this drop here. Possibly start testing some of these areas here at the bottom again. Yeah, I think Baba could be a possible on here. One of the best Chinese trading stocks there. Hamish, you're giving us MU. Take a look here. I don't think MU's in play, unless you're looking for something specific on this, or you've been watching it and got some strategy here. I don't see anything great on it right now, so looks pretty quiet to me. INTC also popping up, very similar to MU though. They have, what's the volume here? 919,000. Again, probably some block trades because I'm not seeing that here this morning, so I'm not sure where that volume is coming from. But again, based on the price action here, I'm not seeing anything in play. Maybe some news creating that block trade or something. I'm not sure. Heading down, Hyro, CCL. What do we have here? CCL right now is not really in play. Man, some nasty daily action on CCL. Look at this. Every candle overlapping the previous one. It's just not doing a whole lot right now. Yeah, this is looking pretty bad on CCL. American Airlines, let's take a look here. Big drop on Friday. Again, I don't think it's really in play right now. Pretty quiet, but it moved well Friday. I remember, Norm, you talked about it having it being a great candidate based on the news going on here, and it did play out pretty well, guys. Look at Friday, nice big drop there. Right now, pre-market actually a little quiet. We just have to see if more news breaks out on these travel companies that can cause a breakout or a drop on any of these. Here's NEO, extremely quiet, guys. Volume is very light. Again, NEO can be explosive. It could be a good possible to watch, and we like NEO when it's got the volume. Doesn't have it right now, but maybe later in the pre-market, this can pick up a little bit. Right now, it's very, very quiet. As I said down, INTC, I don't like it right now. Again, I think it has volume, but it needs a better pre-market activity. UEC. UEC, no, and also in the American Stock Exchange, guys, be careful with those stocks. Not because there's nothing wrong with them, but if you look at the price action, it can be very funky at times. And the level 2 seems to get very crazy, very difficult to read. You're going to have all these numbers stack up, especially on lower prices here, and it's just very difficult to read. And also, this stock is 227 million shares flow. So I don't know how much that's going to move. On Friday, it moved 20 cents, all right, the entire day, maybe 30. That was the range. So again, just be careful with those. I think they're anything on the American Stock Exchange. I usually try to avoid. We haven't really found any great stocks in the American Stock Exchange.
I don't remember any.
What was that?
I don't remember any.
Yeah, I can't remember any that we trade on that exchange. ALC, no good right now. Volume is very light. I see we're looking at the daily for a possible breakout, but at the moment, just the volume very light. Careful with this one, guys. Look at the range on this, $21.50 to $24 candles here on the daily, so it can move quite a bit. All right, let's do a few more, two more here. Let's see, Chris, I see you have your list there. We kind of looked at those already, so that's good. NVAX. NVAX is another one that reminds me of DVAX. I'm not sure if they're related or not, but also trades.
Same business.
They're not. Yeah.
Same business.
Same business. Yeah, they're very difficult to trade.
Different companies, but same industry. Yeah.
Very difficult to trade. Just be careful. I've seen some great trades out of some members on here, but they're very difficult to trade. So just keep that in mind. All right, last one here. We'll do CLOV. Then we'll take a few from YouTube. CLOV right now, again, just very choppy pre-market action. I don't think they're really in play right now, so we'll keep this one off at the moment. All right, let's take a look over on YouTube, starting with Sean. You're giving us CP. Let's see what CP. Ooh, no. This is no good. CP here, guys. Again, you have no volume. It's just nothing is happening for CP. This is not something you want to be trading, at least for a day trade. So no good there. PDD. Let's take a look here. PDD also no volume, guys. So it's very light, only 39,000. We need some good stuff on here. Let's take a look at Delta from Smart One. From Smart One right here, 87,000 right now. It is up 1.1. Again, I don't think it's really in play. I think we really have to wait on these travel companies to kind of head one way or the other based on news coming out. But again, just not much going on there on Delta right now. HGEN this morning, no activity. Again, 295,000. But look at this daily possible breakout, right? If we can get going here,
just considering the volume just kicked in a few minutes ago, that might be worth watching. Up over 4%.
Yeah.
Volume's just starting to come in. If the volume continues or picks up, that might be interesting.
Yeah, actually, you're absolutely right. And you can see here 2 levels, guys. We can break out of this. That can create a nice little pop over to at least, above 780 or so. Yeah, this could be nice. As a possible for now, we'll come back and see if the volume has picked up on this HGEN. There we go. PLTR, this is the hate and love relationship we have with PLTR. Volume is a little bit lighter than usual on PLTR. We usually like to see us with a whole lot of volume. We're not seeing that right now on PLTR, and this could be so choppy. So I'm going to keep it off my list now. We need heavy volume on this one. Now, there's a difference between PLTR at 262 and there's a difference with HGEN at 301, right? They're pretty close, but PLTR, we know it so well. It can be very, very choppy, guys. So I'm going to keep it off the list for now. That's a good stock to wait for the market open, because there's been cases where the volume is great, 1 million, and then the market open, it's just complete trash, just trading sideways, very choppy. So you really got to wait on that one. Here's Piton, guys. Nice couple of days on Piton here. The last 3 days, beautiful pop there, all the way from 96, the low of 96, all the way up to 118. And this all started here when we had I think it was earnings or something. I remember this because I was in the hospital watching this, and I saw the earnings on the TV screen there.
I think the bigger problem they had was the price drop and the marketing cost increase.
Yes,
that was that came out at the same as their earnings release.
Right.
So yeah.
So they're back up to where they left off here, guys. Pretty interesting. Volume is very light, but that's okay for Piton. They tend not to have great volume. This could be an interesting one to take a look at a little bit later. See if this last couple of days mean anything going forward into today's trading open. All right, guys, let's stop here. Thank you so much for all the suggestions. We got some good ones out of there and some good possibles. Let's take a look at our activity coming for this week.
All right, it's Monday, so we'll do a quick weekly rundown. 2:30 in the afternoons on Monday. Usually have Brian in the room doing his swing trade discussion. Then Monday nights, every Monday night, live onboarding and tech classes with Carlos and Kyle. That begins at 8 with the onboarding, and then 9 p.m. is the tech. Tuesdays and Thursdays, noon in the classroom. You've got Eamon back doing his webinar, his trade reviews, excuse me. He was out for a couple weeks, so welcome back, Eamon. I know people were patiently awaiting your return. Success webinars on Tuesday and evenings, psychology on Wednesday evenings, and then Thursday you've got mentoring with Andrew at 11 a.m. and Thor at 8 p.m. And then Friday is crypto, and that is 11 a.m. with Jared. All right, tomorrow night, note the special time because of his time zone. I was talking about him being back from vacation. He's coming back full force. You've got a webinar with Eamon talking about how to overcome overtrading. That is at 5 p.m. Eastern. Please note the special time. Of course, if you can't make that, it will be recorded as always. Then on Wednesday night at 8 p.m. the normal time, you've got our mindfulness expert, Nada, excuse me. It really is Monday and I can barely talk. Talking about developing a mindfulness routine. And then next week, Dr. Katz, our very own Dr. Katz, who we'll be speaking to in just a moment, 8 p.m. next Wednesday, doing a town hall. And that one's actually going to be with Andrew. All right. We got the charity of the month. All the super chat, super sticker revenue for this month is going to be going to Cure Childhood Cancer. August, it went to the Organization for Autism Research. Matched dollar for dollar by Andrew. It ended up being a total of $4,000 going their way. So thank you all very much. All right, if you want to participate in the member trade of the day, trade of the week, take a screenshot of your best trade of the day, post it on Twitter, tag at Bearable Traders, at MikeB_BBT, and at NormBBT. Of course, on that trade, be sure that you put any commentary and as much commentary as you can to describe the trade. Use the hashtags BBT Family, Day Trading, and Stock Market as well. We will pick a winner each day and announce in the afternoon on Twitter and in the room, and then the team votes for all those trades of the day over the course of the week. They do it on the weekend, and it is announced on Monday. If you're watching on YouTube and haven't been in the chat, go to bearbulletraders.com if you'd like to give out the room a try. Scroll down where you see that test drive, click the button, use the promo code PREMARKET24. It'll get you a discount off the intro membership, which is 7 calendar days, 5 trading days, and it expires. You do not get charged again. You have to go back and choose an option. Also, if you'd like to get access to all that awesome webinars and content that I was just discussing a moment ago, use the promo code SUMMER40. You can get 40% off the annual Elite membership.
All right. Thank you, Norm. All right, guys, let's get to our list this morning. Only 3.
Are we not talking to Dr. Katz?
Oh, that's right. Monday. Dr. Katz. Hold on a second. Let's get him in here. Here we go. Dr. Katz.
Dr. Katz, how are you, sir?
Good. How are you today, Norm?
Great. Thank you. Hope you had a great weekend.
Did, Mike. Thank you very much.
Nice. So this morning, sir, I believe we're going to be talking about FOMO, correct?
That is correct. When you and Carlos sent me a list a bunch of weeks ago about some of the subject topics that people were interested in that kind of can be an issue and plague them, FOMO was up there. So I thought I'd do a kind of a quick overview and a couple of tips on FOMO, since that is fear of missing out is one of the big issues that traders talk about in their trading. So, first of all, some of the common emotions in trading that can feed into FOMO. I think that that's a big thing, because if people can identify some of those emotions, that's helpful. Greed, fear, excitement, jealousy, impatience, and anxiety are often things that can kind of trigger or be catalysts for FOMO. So one of the first things you want to kind of get a sense of for yourself, and again, everybody is different, is how some of those emotional factors may play into kind of creating FOMO for you. And they differ for everybody, but emotions play a big role. And so the first step sometimes in helping kind of with dealing with FOMO is to identify those emotions that are pertinent to you. What are some of the characteristics of a FOMO trader? And what are some of the things that a FOMO trader might say? And some of the if you find yourself saying, oh, they're all doing it, so it can't be that bad, or just think how much money I could make, or I'll give it a go, or they must know something I don't. These are the kinds of lines that if you find yourself saying that to yourself as a way of getting into trades, that often can be a sign of FOMO. Some of the causes behind FOMO trading, there's some more specific things that happen. Volatile markets can really kind of trigger kind of FOMO. Big winning streaks for people can do that. And the opposite, kind of repetitive losses can get people into more FOMO trading. News and rumors, social media could be a big thing when people are scrolling through and reading stuff, and that can increase the intensity of a kind of fear of missing out. Often I think about FOMO trading versus a trader who trades with discipline. And a trader with a disciplined trading plan, really conducts analysis and follows the news. You set up a really comfortable risk-reward ratio. You use very sensible stop losses, and you take profit levels, and you follow a plan, and you keep a log in a journal, and you basically archive your trading goals. A trader with FOMO tends to takes opinions as facts and really kind of more follows rumors. A FOMO trader often considers the upside and maximizes exposures. Often FOMO traders enter risky positions and then panics and closes out and repeats that. And if you don't have a plan or you don't keep a journal, FOMO tends to take over. So some of the key tips and reminders and exercises for overcoming and managing FOMO trading would be kind of sticking to a trading plan, have a good knowledge of the markets, wait for trades, interact with other traders. That could be helpful. Try to take the emotion out of trading. Of course, only use capital that you could afford, and keep a trading journal. Basically, the hope is to turn your FOMO into JOMO and embrace the joy sometimes of missing out, because as an experienced traders will tell you, some of the best trades they make are the ones where they sit on their hands and they don't make them. So hopefully those are a few kind of helpful tips and reminders that could be useful for you out there leading into today's week of trading.
Thank you very much, Dr. Katz. I can assure you a very helpful conversation, because it's something, if anybody's traded for any period of time, that they've experienced at some point. So thank you very much. And
You're
I like the
welcome.
JOMO. I've not ever heard that one. So
Yeah, the JOMO is good.
All right. Have a great week.
Okay, man. Have a
Take
good
care.
day.
You too.
All right, thank you so much, Dr. Katz, for that. Guys, let's make sure we hit that thumbs up. We only have 130 likes, so pretty low this morning. Let's wake up and let's slam that thumbs up, guys. Really, really appreciate it. You'd be surprised how much that does for us. Helps us out big time. So thank you. All right, guys, let's look at this. We have AMC, Apple, and NVIDIA is what we really like this morning. We got tons of possibles, so let's dig into our possibles first and see what we can move up here. So OCGN, I think we like this one. It's got some potential here. As Norm said, we got some value coming in recently, so hopefully that continues. I like this for a possible breakout, so we'll bring this up. Again, it's not ready yet, but I think it's probably one of the better stocks in our secondary list this morning. So we'll bring this up here, OCGN, knowing that we needed to kind of pick up a little bit more. So we'll get rid of it from here. BABA, I think BABA is good, guys. I like BABA. I like the pre-market action even looking better now, right? We're having a nice area of resistance here. We're dropping nicely. It's got a good pre-market action. It's got some decent volume on it this morning. And also the daily, you can see we're kind of struggling to hold this area of somewhat support. You know, BABA doesn't have usually the best daily, but you can see on here, we got a little bit of support happening in a couple of areas there. We're slightly below that, so I do like that there for a possible run towards the bottom here. So I think I'm going to move BABA up. I think it's worth having on as one of our main lists, down 1% right now with some okay volume. BLU this morning, they're up 26%. Again, I'm not a big fan of the way this thing is trading right now. Let's take a look at the 1 minute and see if that looks any better. Yeah, I'm just not a big fan of the way that these candles are being formed here. So I'm going to keep it as a secondary for now. I'm heading down to Space. Space is picking up volume now, 323,000. This is a top possible. Again, pretty choppy right now. Their daily's not great besides a possible loss of this level here. That could be interesting. But we'll keep it as a possible for now. MDXG, again, down 53%. I just don't know how well this is going to trade, and we won't know that into the market open. Just because these stocks, when they're so down like this, 53%, you know, the market open could be a little bit choppy as we would try to decide, are we going to head lower? Are we going to start to close this gap here? What's happening? So we'll have to kind of wait a little bit on this one. CCJ this morning, they are looking okay. I don't think we need to move this one up. Snap, again, Snap has 1 million shares traded. Not much going on there. I do like their volume. I'm going to keep a close eye on Snap, though, because I think if there's any buying on the catalyst of the upgrade that they have, you know, from a reputable company, that could be interesting. So again, just the volume, I don't know where it is right now. Piton this morning will stay as a possible. Again, couple of good days on here, maybe a continuation if we can get going here, but we need some volume big time there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 this morning, and I think Snap might be the one we move up, but we have to see something else go on here in this pre-market action. All right, let's get some levels in here. Here's AMC towards the bottom, guys. We do have plenty of levels, highs and lows from the last 2 trading days, doing a pretty good job, as you can see there. So you're set up towards the bottom. They're even covering the previous day close, kind of covers your low of your pre-market right now, right? So the previous day close, obviously, it's going to hold a lot more weight. So that's good there. The high of the pre-market slightly above the highs from yesterday. Well, not yesterday, but Friday, the last trading day. 51.85 will slam a level there. And then above that, we do have 52.50 going back into this stretch here where we had your all-time highs, I believe, right? 72, is that the all-time high? Or did we slam higher in January? No, that's the all-time high. So 72.62. Above this 55.51, which you got a nice daily level here, a lot of touches. We do have, again, not the best daily. Right in here, guys, yes, tons of touches over at 58.34. If you draw a line right on there, you can see that 58.34 has a lot of resistance, a lot of days opening and closing right around that area. So that's good. So I think you're pretty much set on AMC, guys. Again, this thing can be very explosive. The volume is there for it right now, 1.3 million. Definitely a lot going on there. Here is Apple. Apple looks very good this morning as well, guys. Low of the pre-market sitting at 149.67. The high of the pre-market over at 150.87. Above that, we also have another level here, 151.65. Do we have anything more significant towards the top? No, I don't see anything great. Maybe this area here, 152, but that's about it. So we'll see where it goes here. Towards the bottom, we had a huge drop on Friday, guys, creating this level over at 159. That is where it found a little bit of support. It's just stopped the bleeding there. Let's see where this wants to go today. Again, great volume, 1.5 million shares traded for Apple. That is amazing volume on it this morning. Beautiful pre-market action on it right now. Here's NVIDIA, guys. I do like the daily on NVIDIA, 472,000 shares traded. They've been very strong. They had a very strong move here mid-August, right? Popped up real nice to 225 in the last couple of days, a couple of weeks. It's just kind of been moving sideways here, consolidating. But if they can get a nice little breakout here, that could be a lot of fun. Back to those all-time highs there. So we do have high of the pre-market 227.24. Above this, you have your high, your all-time high, obviously 230. But right below that, you do have a level right over here, over at 229.61. So we'll see where this goes today. Again, pre-market action for them looks pretty good right now. You're not going to get an Apple type pre-market action on NVIDIA. That's not going to happen. So this is probably the best you're going to see for the most part on on a more regular basis. OCGN, again, it's got potential here, guys. It's kind of dropping down a little bit now. Low of the pre-market down at 722. So we'll slam a level there. And then besides that, we're surrounded between the highs and lows of the last 2 trading days. So not much levels we can go off by here. If we were to break out of the 763 area, we do have another level over at a 777, right? So 777, we'll throw a level there as well. Here's BABA, guys. I think I like this one a lot today. I mean, we got some good activity in the morning in the pre-market right now. Low of the pre-market for this one is going to be down at 164.11, but I am going to mark down this level here, guys, because you got a nice support happening at 165 basically. So that's an area where you see a lot of touches on this. You definitely want to have that down 165 as well. High of the pre-market, pretty much the high, or not the high, the low from 2 days ago, from Thursday. That's the high of your pre-market right now, so that's covered for you there. If we were to lose this 164.61, you do have a daily here down at 163, even more further down over at 160. Again, that's a stretch. I don't think we'll get there. If we do, it's going to be a hell of a day. And then towards the top, guys, you do have your highs and lows from the last 2 trading days. So that is our list right now, guys. Not bad, not horrible, not great. You know, it's just kind of in between. I think we got some decent possibles that we can take a look at. I see people throwing out EFTR. Wasn't this the one that was going crazy on Friday? Oh, this is on fire right now. EFTR. Let's see here. EFTR. What's the float on this thing? All right, so right now up 31%, 1.1 million shares traded. So this thing is definitely in play. I can't pull up my flow for some reason. TI is acting up a little bit. It's not just that tickers, all of them. So does anybody has the flow for this? EFTR. What's the float on this, guys? 2022. So you got 16.5, 10. All right, so it's a low flow stock either way. So EFTR, we'll put it here next to the low floats. But definitely on fire, guys. Really got it going on right now. 1.1 million, up 30%. Yeah, this thing got some movement here. Any news on it, guys, or it's just people squeezing this thing? SPRT is another one that, again, has been very active. We'll keep that one on here. Also low flow stock, and also ETER. Not as good right now. Maybe we'll remove this one. But what I like about ATER, guys, it does have 7.4 million shares traded. So and on the daily, it does have a nice little run here. So maybe we got to give it a little time. But this is a good pre-market action, up 16%. I think that's worth watching. All right, guys. Yep. EFTR on fire, opening up at a 26, not a high of 35.46. So again, guys, as you guys know, be very, very, very careful trading this. Make sure you have a plan. Don't just chase. Chasing usually doesn't end up very well on the long-term side. You could get lucky, but on the long-term side, it does not get well. So they got an upgrade to $50. Is that the news? Anything else on it? That's just it. Okay. All right, we'll definitely keep an eye on it. All right, with that said, let's take a look at our moderators lineup. Guys, as we are doing this, we have, how many likes do we have? Let's set those likes over on YouTube as I am bringing this over here and watch our moderators lineup for this morning. Let's resize this, get rid of that, and we'll bring this right over here. Let's see what our moderators like to start this week. So starting with Peter, no SPACs or IPOs for today. Then we have Eamon. He's looking at Mara. He's looking at AMC, ATER, BABA, and Open. Tiffany's looking at Apple and NVIDIA. Dima likes Apple, American Airlines, MU, and TIGR. Andrew, he's looking at AMC, BABA, Apple, and some low floats, ATER, EFTR, SPRT. Those are the ones that we like today. They all got great volume, especially this EFTR right now. Really got it going on at the moment. So, all right, that's what we have. 9:15, guys, stay tuned. Andrew and Brian will be up next. They'll be trading live. So stick around as they get set up and join us here to trade live this morning. So kind of quick recap, guys. AMC, we do like that one. Was great on Friday. Beautiful breakout there. Apple has amazing volume, amazing pre-market activity. We'll see where that goes today. We have NVIDIA here with a great daily, a potential breakout to test some of these highs over here. Again, it could be better, but I think for right now is not a bound to have on here. OCGN has okay pre-market activity. I want to see a little bit more on this one. This is more of a possible, but I have space right now. I'll be watching just 2 stocks. I think this one is worth watching this morning. And then here we have BABA. BABA is one of the best Chinese trading stock, also down nicely, 1.8 today. I want to see this sell off here and kind of reach some of these lower levels as well. Here's Peter with his list. He's watching AMD, Apple, AMC. Secondary list, BBIG, ATER, and also EFTR. Again, guys, be very, very careful with those lower flow stocks there. They can move very aggressive. And if you are new, if you're starting out, nothing beats building experience in trading. I got to tell you that. You got to build that experience. And that's not one of the stocks you want to start with to build your experience, because they're brutal. They're very difficult. You got to be extremely fast. You got to be very disciplined. And these are things as you're starting out that you're building. So don't go in there and expect to have these skill sets in trading, right? Very different. In trading, you can have those experiences in your personal life. In trading, it's a whole different ball game. Just be mindful of that and take it easy with those. Okay. Right, guys. That is what we have. Anything else going crazy like EFTR that we should take a look at? No. Okay, we are pretty good then. We are pretty good. And yeah, okay, we are set, guys. Guys, thumbs up over on YouTube. Thank you so much for the thumbs up there, and subscribing if you haven't done so. We are live every Monday through Friday, starting at 8 a.m. in the morning with Engineering the Markets with Jared, and then followed by the pre-market prep. SPRT has follow meeting merger. All right, yeah, SPRT, we have it here. Their volume is a little bit lighter, but we know they can take off. They're up 3%, but definitely on the list. We've seen some good action out of them in the past. We'll see where that takes them today. ATER is good volume here, trying to hold, selling down a little bit below the VWAP. And then we also have EFTR. Let's see the action on this thing. This thing here, their recent high. Is this a recent IPO too? Oh, the recent IPO just opened up a couple of days ago. So it's not a lot to go by here. As far as daily, 40.39 is their all-time high here, it looks like. And the way they're going right now, they seem to want to definitely take a shot of that. Here's Jared with his list. He's looking at the overall SPY, AMC, EFTR, ETER, and Microsoft. Brian is coming in with his list as well, looking at EFTR, AMC, Airbnb, and DKNG. And he also has Run on his list as well. So that is Brian's list for this morning. And as I mentioned before, Brian and Andrew joining us live in just a sec. So stick around over in YouTube. We'll be on for about an hour. And if you ever want to try the room and get access to the entire day, you can do so. You can try a 7-day trial. Use Premarket24 for $24 to get access to our intro class, which I'm having tonight, by the way, with Mike. So make sure to join that. We'll see you there. And you're going to get access to the chat room for 7 days and see what the environment is like and what we are all about. So with that said, Brian and Andrew are on, guys. I'm going to switch over to them. Trade safe, and I will see you guys in the chat room.
Good morning.
Good morning, guys.
Good morning, Carlos. Good morning, Andrew. Morning, everybody. So a bit of a bounce this morning.
Good
After
morning,
yesterday's sell-off. After Monday's sell-off, Friday's sell-off.
Can you guys hear me? Not sure.
I can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Perfect. Thank you so much, guys. All right. Welcome to this episode of Discovery Channel. When Brian is discussing how animals and humans are different.
While we were waiting for another trade setup.
Yeah. EFTR and ATER, they're all both active. The price range are really good for them. EFTR is really volatile. It was crazy last couple of days. ATER is a little bit better in terms of volatility. I think the float is probably an ATER is actually though the float is the same, both about 24 million shares. ATER.
It should be there.
Oh, share screen. Thank you. Yes, sorry.
If you got
okay, a screen share.
If you got
Camera.
the email, the link should have been on it.
Yeah, so the Brian's recap won't be posted publicly on YouTube, just for a technical issue, not for anything marketing related. But if you click on the link in the email that Brian is sending, so you can actually watch that. Great recap of the market, by the way. Especially the watch list was really nice, Brian.
Hmm.
So everyone should be able to see my screen as well. You just have to change the channel from Carlos' screen to my screen.
I think the solar stocks are going to start to warm up here. Oh, nice, Mark.
So ATER is coming above the VWAP. That would be nice if you can hold the VWAP. Then for potential breakout. FOMO is definitely serious, but we'll handle the FOMO. Tesla, what's Tesla doing? Tesla is holding above the VWAP. Baba is doing some stuff.
No, it's not buyout news. It's I think it got an upgrade. EFTR, ITMR. If you notice that one on the scanner, I think that's a buyout. That's at the top of the list on the gappers right now.
AMC, the scanner. AMC also really strong.
Yeah.
On the daily charts, we'll put this one here.
Airbnb is really weak.
BBIG, I didn't see BBIG. I think we traded BBIG in the past. What is that one?
BBIG is up 17 cents right now. It's not doing anything.
Yeah, so BBIG just popped up. I mean, by 9 o'clock, it wasn't doing anything. I mean, we can potentially, I can potentially put BBIG in there if it gets good volume and order in there. But, by the time that I finalized kind of my watch list, it wasn't really doing anything. BBIG is a potential. Look at more volume on that. BBIG, yeah, we traded BBIG in the past a lot, and we do have shares for sure too.
I'm just looking at the news on Airbnb. Director sold 4 million in stock, and then Goldman Sachs initiates coverage on Airbnb with a sell rating target of 132. So it's at 161 now. That's definitely a downgrade.
Oh man, that director that sold 4 million shares at 160, he probably got vested. Fuck, man. Another billionaire came into San Francisco.
And yeah.
Welcome, another billionaire, whoever was that person.
Yeah. I just see strength in the. Let's just take a look at the solar ETF here, TAN. I see some strength in maybe the solar sector picking up today. AMC is breaking out. The apes are at it again. Alcoa, I'm going to keep an eye on as well. AA. Again, it's popping up. Spirit. All right, guys, 5 minutes to the open. Yeah, I'm kind of liking AMC at this point. I'm liking Airbnb for a short. I kind of have a feeling that DKNG is going to move higher. But we'll wait on that. And this is going to definitely be a morning. Keep an eye on the scanners as well. ATER looks kind of interesting. I'm not... yeah, it's EFTR. You have to be careful because it does have a pretty wide spread on the bid-ask. ATER is better. Airbnb is sinking, unfortunately, without me. We'll see if it get a bit of a pop at the open, just to be able to short into it. CCJ is also kind of interesting. That's the uranium play. Yeah, I saw AFRM as well. I was looking at that. Wow, look at AFRM drop. Huh. I'm gonna add AFR. I'm adding AFRM to my list of stocks that I'm going to watch here.
AFRM.
Yeah, it's just dropping hard here. We got 2 minutes to the open.
Oh, yeah.
So you watch for it to pop back up as well.
Oh, yeah. AFRM
Oh, no.
The news on it?
It's getting smoked.
What's the news on it?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Damn. Damn. Stop going down without me.
Good. All right. Good morning, YouTube guys. I hope you're having a good time. We appreciate a like and subscribe to the channel. That would be awesome. That helps a lot, and algos and support the chat. I'm gonna wait for 1 minute to take the trade. I really like AMC and EFTR. Again, for opening range breakup. SPRT, not sure about it. Damn, AFRM. It's really weak.
I don't know. AFRM is just, there's something came out about this. The time and sales. Look at the volume spike on this.
Yeah,
Something. I don't like the way it's really extended now from the.
Yeah, it's hard to short it now, but it's 116. How did you see the AFRM, by the way? Did it hit a scanner? It didn't hit any
someone flagged it. I was looking at it. I was looking at it when I was looking through making a list. I saw it was down about $2, $2.50, but then someone flagged it when the volume came in on it.
Yeah.
Okay. So what's the news?
I think the downgrade by Barclay.
Oh, I got a downgrade by Barclay.
Yeah.
Huh. Diddly-do. Well.
That is not good.
Oh, Amazon. This is this company that buys that finances buy now pay later. This just sounds like a recipe for a disaster. I don't know. Anyway, ready to kick things off here. Here we go. Looking
Alrighty,
at
so the market is
Airbnb.
open. EFTR has with some order flow. AFRM is still weak.
I'm watching for a
Apple is
bounce on
strong.
AFRM.
Apple's,
AMC dropping a bit. CCJ popping.
I'm waiting for a minute to dust to settle down a little bit. AMC is doing AMC stuff. Apple slowly selling off.
Yeah, AMC's breaking out. Trying to. I just got long a little bit AMC. 150 or 52.70 or 17, I should say.
Yeah, AMC is really good. This pullback on AMC might be something. Let's see. It's doing AMC is doing a little bit of AMC stuff. I'm getting some long into 52.30. Not a big size. That pullback was really good on AMC.
I got short Airbnb at 161.50.
See, I'm getting out of AMC completely now. I just took a small size anyways. BBIG selling up really hard. Do we have short for shares for short? Yeah, we do. BBIG is dropping really hard. Yeah, I'm out of AMC. I just didn't like that.
I got out flat on that one too. I'm still holding some Airbnb short, but it's not selling off quite yet. Looks like AFRM is
BBIG. Yeah, short on BBIG. I think we need to shorten BBIG. See if we can BBIG can drop a little bit at 1020. See if
Adder is going.
I'm short BBIG. Just see if we can get a bigger drop on it.
I'm out of Airbnb. That's just not selling off either. I'm just long. I got long some ATER. Chasing things around here a bit.
EFTR is doing. Apple turned out to be a really nice opening range breakup. Let's see if BBIG can sell off a little bit more.
Oh, here we go. Selling, just selling some ATER here. Now 1544.
ATER. Why am I not having ATER in my chart?
You had it. You had it on your watch list.
Oh yeah, ATER is so good. So good. I'm taking a long Q at 1527. It might go back up. That was good. How did I miss that one? ATER. I'm back long at 1527. BBIG is still doing nothing.
Donkey Kong's getting smoked here. So what's going on there?
AMC is coming back up. Huh? I'm getting out of BBIG short. I'm covering it. Let's see ATER 1550 breakout sold. Come on. It's a big vol up there.
Yeah, sold some more here at 1531.
Can go to 1550. I'm holding some here. See AMC doing some stuff. It's a little bit toppy up here, dangerous. But
yeah, I think it's gonna. Feels like it's.
I'm getting out of it though. I'm getting out of it. I don't like it. My entry is not good. I just don't like it. I think it's gonna go, but I don't like it.
Yeah, I'm following you this morning. I bailed on it as well.
My entry was bad. I mean, how did I miss it?
Yeah, I had my entry was a little bit better. It was 1512.
AMC is
it's coming. It's pulling back now. EFTR is dropping. Wow, IWM is really dropping. Holy cow! This is like this is kind of like Friday.
Oh.
AFRM is popping. Look at Airbnb popping back up. AMC looks like it's ready to break.
Yeah, I'm taking a long on AMC at 52.30, small size. Let's see, yeah, IWM is really setting off. Damn. I'm taking a long on AMC.
It's got to bounce here.
I don't like the price action on AMC today. I'm a bit small size on it, but I might bail on it. Yeah, I'm getting out of AMC. We probably want to go up, but it's just maybe we got to wait on it a little bit. BBIG is going to go for probably a break of that thing, huh? SPRT is coming up, picking up the volume. AMC is doing AMC things. BBIG potential short by my entry. BBIG potential short for the break of 10. Taking short BBIG 1010 for potential short. And oh yeah, there you go. BBIG short. It's going. Yeah, that's nice. I'm short BBIG some at 1008. Let's see if you can get to S4. 995.
S4 is 80, 980.
980, yeah.
AMC's selling off as well right now.
Yeah, AMC, I'm glad I got out of both AMC. SPRT popped up. Support.com, SPRT. Volume on it is meh. AFRM looks like he wants to pop. AFRM. 5. I'm taking a long on AFRM at 111.66. For a 5 minute opening range break up. Stop loss would be below that thing. AFRM. I'm taking a long on AFRM at 111.63. Let's see if AFRM can go up. Break of 12. 112. That would be nice if you can do that.
Wow. IWM is going to go red.
That was a big drop on it, huh?
Wow. That was just right from the open. SPY's looking like it's going to drop here too.
Yeah, AMD is selling off. See if AFRM can pop or not. I'm adding a little bit more on AFRM here. See if 112 can be touched for 5 minutes opening range breakup.
Yeah, I can see ATR. I don't like, I'm not liking much of anything right now. Maybe DKNG turns around here.
BBIG came back up to my break-even point as usual. AFRM is not good at all. Damn it.
Yeah, I was thinking of shorting I was thinking of shorting AFRM if it got up over 112.
Gotta stop that on that.
It's too late now.
ATER is coming back. Oh, I gotta stop that on AFRM really bad. ATER is coming back up with volume.
Yeah.
Taking a long on ATER at 1487.
I don't trust it.
Which one, ATER?
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's going to go.
I'm long on it, ATER, yeah. I'm long on it.
Wow.
Maybe not the high of the day, but that pullback.
Wow. Tesla really tanking here too.
AMC could be.
SPY's dropping.
1495. I'm long ATER at 1490. AMC is doing the short thing. Which one was that? I had this big loss. Was it the FRM, huh? Let's see if ATER can go pop a little bit higher. Come on, ATER. Come on, you can pop above 15. Longer stays, more dangerous here.
IWM just flirting. It's right flat now. Just flirting with going red.
15 ATER and 15.
There you go. There it's red. IWM. Wow, ASAN really just flew again here.
Let's see if ATER wants to go a little higher.
Yeah, I saw that. Just
AFRM.
dropped. I don't like the way Airbnb is trading.
Oh yeah, PLD. Come on. Go for the high of the day, please. I need this trade to work. Yeah, I'm a little bit desperate right now. Selling some. Oh, there you go. Now it's gonna go. I definitely desperately need this trade to work. Getting out a little bit at 1550. Yeah, stop loss back to break-even point. Holding some. AFRM is below the
Just
109. Huh?
looking at AMC right now.
For a bounce.
Possible bounce. It's either going to, I think it's going to take another leg lower here. It's at R2 right now.
I think we're going to break the high of the day here on ATER. Now I'm adding a little bit more here. My average is now at 15. I think there's a good chance that 1550, oh, there you go, popped up. Let's see if you can hold it. AFM change of the rewrap. Garbage. It's on at 1560. That thing, SPRT is dropping. This seems like a level here, is it? Really struggling around something around 1550. Obviously, there is a big seller up there that if that one goes up, it's just gonna keep going higher. SPRT sold off. BBIG is doing nothing. AMC is doing nothing.
Energy's up quite a bit.
See if he can do. I'm adding a little bit more on it and see if he can get this move up on it. My new average is at 1525. I think we're gonna go through 16. If he can, there is something up there that doesn't let it go. If he goes, it's gonna explode.
Yeah, volume's been picking up on it, but it's not moving much. Yeah, AFRM still looking a little weak here. There's a
AFRM,
big gap.
I
There's
had
a gap to fill. Yeah.
my biggest loss was on AFRM. I'm recovering with this ATR, but I took 5,000
Oh,
shares
there
on
you go through
AFRM.
16. Yeah.
Yeah, there you
Oh,
go.
well, it's back at the VWAP. Watch to see if BBIG can get back through the VWAP.
Which one? AFRM?
BBIG.
BBIG, BBIG, yeah.
BBIG.
BBIG turned out to be very
Airbnb
risky
is
trade, yeah.
Airbnb is now just losing it. Wow, IWM is continuing to get destroyed here.
Yeah, I can see that, yeah. Let's see if ATR wants to go through 16. If it does, that would be really, really nice. Looking forward to that. If you can, I still have 8,000 shares of ATR, so looking forward to see AMC bounce back from R3. Selling some more, it's 1593.94. Oh, there you go. Go through 16.
Going to take a long on DKNG here. See if it's a double bottom. It's a little early.
16.
60, 55.
AMC. Come on, ATR. I know you're going to go through 16. Why bother?
There's 16 there. Touched it.
I think it's going to blow through that. Yeah, beauty. Still. I think some more.
Wow, a lot of stuff went red on the screen.
IWM sold off really bad today. And I still have these freaking TNAs. All right,
Yeah,
ATR,
it would have been good to sell it this morning.
How would you know? That's the thing.
Well, I think it was. Yeah, I kind of had a feeling I was surprised we actually gapped up this morning after Friday's rout. Okay, I get out of DKNG, obviously, then another leg down here. AMC is still trying to dig its way out of a drop here.
Still setting some more on ATR and this top and down.
Excuse me.
Never know. I actually enjoyed my ads to that to this ATR. Oh yeah, beauty. I'm surprised it hasn't been halted yet. SPRT,
Yeah, the halt's not till like 17:45 right now.
Nice.
Another buck.
Another buck. Oh yeah, beauty. So some more here at 1672.
It's gonna go to 17.
Oh yeah, I know. This is now biggest squeeze is happening.
You can see it in the can see it flagged in the level 2 on DAS.
Oh, yeah. Beauty. That's a good short to squeeze. Nice. Beauty.
Wow, it's going through 18. Finally started to get some traction there.
Beauty. Beauty. QQQ, hold the previous day close. AMC came back up. I'm surprised AMC sold off like that. So IWM also bounced back.
Yeah, you see, yeah.
Yeah.
SPY bounced back.
I think it's the buying brigades coming in.
Yeah, the buying brigade coming in. Yeah.
ATR 1775. So I got a really good scalp on it. I left my mark on it pretty much everywhere. SPRT selling off. AFRN was Jesus.
There's the bounce on DKNG now.
How are the YouTube people doing, guys? Did you take this ATR? Yeah, Asnari, I wasn't trading. I don't think I did. Did I trade it? I don't think I ever traded before. I might have, but I don't remember trading it. Wow, we got 400 likes. That's nice. Oh, nice, Adam. I still hold 1,000 share on it. I'm down to 1,000 shares on ATR. I mean, I probably should sell it, but I could recover the loss on that. My biggest loss was AFRM. That was a bad drop on me. It's really volatile, so let's see what it does. ATR is bouncing back. My average is at 1525. Freaking TNA is bouncing back. ATR. Really bouncing back. I don't know if it's a good idea to buy on these pullbacks. It looks like it's really losing it. Twitter is selling off.
Yeah, ATR looks done for the time being anyway.
Nice, Lester. Lester 4K green on ATR. Beautiful.
Yeah.
BBIG basket. That trade on BBIG didn't turn out to be interesting.
Yeah, I was just looking at skin, thinking maybe I'll take an entry for a possible swing trade.
I'm thinking of taking a log on it, adding some on ATR. My average is at 1525. I'm adding a little bit more on ATR here, 1592. My new average is 1579.
Wow, yeah, mRNA. Wow. Just really lost it.
Adding some on ATR, it's just pop. If not, I'm getting out of it.
I had a feeling this would be like a day where you'd have there would be a couple stocks that would be really good, but you just had to be following the right ones. mRNA, look at that drop on that. Wow. I got a short some Affirm here. It's dropping now. It's right back down to yesterday's low, or Friday's low, I should say.
Yeah.
Just going to cover some here. Whoa.
Oh, yeah.
Here we go.
So weak.
That's where the 9 moving average on the 2-minute chart came in. It just chopped across. It's been chopping across to catch up with the 9 moving average on the 2-minute chart. As soon as it gets there, people reshort it or lean into the shorts.
ATR is popping back up. I kind of did a 920 trade on it. It's just
Well, yeah, I mean, ATR is the opposite. It came back to the 9 and then bounced off it on the 2-minute chart.
on a 1-minute chart, it was kind of between two. So my ad got
okay.
Worked pretty well.
Still holding some Affirm.
Firm.
It's really extended. It's really extended from the 9 again, so we just may end up chopping along here.
Let's see what
Finally got a decent trade. Airbnb did exactly the same thing. Dropped, came across to the 9, consolidated, came across to the 9, and then lost it again. I'm long some CCJ too, for a swing. Just a small size on CCJ because it's already so extended on the daily.
ATR is popping back. I don't think ATR is going to go back up to high of the day, but might test 17 again. So I'm going to hold this small one to see if you can get back to 17. Yeah, it's unlikely that goes back up to 18. That's just
yeah.
Support.com is really saying
It's definitely still in play.
Oh yeah, beauty. Back to 17. Good. Big ask on 17. Could sell more. I kind of don't think I don't think it's going to go back up to 18, but it's just a good doubt. I'm down on it down to less than 1,000 shares. Oh yeah, it might actually go up. What an ad! What an
Nice.
ad!
Gonna sell some of my CCJ at 26.50. I'll look at keeping the rest. EFDR kind of trying to find a bottom here.
Airbnb short.
All right, let's see if we get another leg lower on AFRM. Still holding short.
Gonna lose the 105, huh?
Yeah, AMC is, looks like AMC is breaking out here.
AMC through R4, yeah. What the hell was that drop, and what the hell was that bounce on AMC, really?
Yeah, that was just, the IWM's gone green again.
Yeah. I think that sell-off on AMC came from IWM and market.
Something going on. What's going on with MU is up quite a bit.
Yeah, it was on Nima's watch list. So
Yeah, I saw that.
UDCCP. So what was my think that is not going to go back up was because of this huge drop between 950 to 955. Brian has this one called technical damage. I really like that term. When the technical damage, the stock that just go up, do a consolidation and go up, and they start go up and then collapse on the pullbacks. It's a little bit optimistic to expect them to go back up for the high of the day. This was just a big squeeze, and then there's a collapse. So this pullback, I wasn't really even expecting it to go back up to 17, but it did. Just because Brian calls it technical damage, and the pattern becomes so messed up that you can't really expect this to go back up. SPRT is setting off. Down 7%, and BBIG, AMC, ATR still holding a bit of ATR.
Wow, SPY just took a drop again, making a new low of day.
Yeah, all of the indexes got a hit. Is the word ending? Is this something that we should be aware of?
The Qs have gone red. For it, that's. I got long MU through 75 while you were talking. At least played it through 75.
The raccoons are taking over.
Raccoons?
See, don't start, Harry. See, don't start. See, I wanted to stay professional. You were starting it.
I'm covering some more AFRM here. I'm not feeling like it's. I don't want it to come back to my break even around 108. So
BBIG is a piece of garbage.
Yeah.
AFRM is only 105. ATR, I still have it. It's coming back down. I don't have much shares left on ATR. What is AMC doing?
Just waiting for MU to maybe get to see if I can take another leg, get up here. 75.50. 75.60 is, yes, Friday's high.
What was the news on AFRM, by the way?
I think there was some downgrade and some comments about a lack of confidence in their business model or something. I don't know.
How can they not have a confidence in their business model, but this company is public? How does this thing work, really? All right, guys. So YouTube guys, I think we're getting into the time that we want to shut it off. Thank you for all of you who are staying. Do you think we can get to 400 likes? We're just right below the 395. That would be nice if you can get to that. We really, really appreciate that if you guys can do it for us. 399. Yeah. And I think that was a pretty good show. We did really nice. And ATR turned out to be a very, very interesting trade for me. And we'll see. Well, tonight, guys, on YouTube, guys, if you want to come to the onboarding class and take feel free to sign up for an intro membership. Don't sign up for any big course or expensive course before really trying them out, and making sure that it really fits your trading style and needs. So Monday session that we have is a really, really good introduction for you guys if you want to trade that. Setting more on ATR a little bit here and this pullback on this pop, and then I might bail completely on it very soon. Goodbye, guys, on YouTube. Appreciate that.
See you guys.
461. Oh, that's a lot of
Nice.
like. Do you think we can get to
Thank
500
you.
likes? I wasn't expecting that many.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. That's awesome, guys. And
looks like SPY is going to go red. IWM's gone red again. Qs are
Brian,
definitely red.
I think we can
Wow.
go back to. I think we can go back to.
Okay.
To
The regular chat room.
Goodbye, guys, on
Okay.
YouTube.
Thanks. Thanks, everybody. Have a good day.